You are most welcome to the Shakil Habib English class. My dear friends, today in this video, we will learn about the international rule of speaking of English. What is the rule which is followed across the world by the people to speak English? This is the major problem with the people that they don't know the rule which is followed at the time of speaking of English. Today, I would clear this point in this very short video. That's why please watch this full video, and what you learn from this video, please follow that while speaking of English. Let's start now. The international rule of spoken of English. International rule of spoken of English. What is that? Very simple rule is, and the rule is KISS. KISS. This is the rule which is followed by the people across the world while speaking of English. This rule says that keep it simple and short. This rule says that keep it simple and short. ये रूल बताता है कि इसे मीन्स वर्ड और सेंटेंस और क्लाउज को आप कैसा रखें? सिंपल एंड शॉर्ट. दिस रूल सेज दैट you should always use simple words, simple vocabularies at the time of speaking. While speaking, it says that use simple words and use short sentences. This rule says that at the time of speaking, you should use always simple words and short sentences. The main motive behind speaking of any language is to convey your message to the next person. किसी भी लैंग्वेज को बोलने के पीछे जो मेन मकसद होता है वो अपनी बात दूसरों तक पहुंचाना होता है. अगर आप अपनी बात दूसरों तक नहीं पहुंचा पा रहे हैं, you are not a good speaker. If you are unable to convey your message to the next person, then you are not good speaker. You are a failure speaker. You are a failure person. And there are so many losses of using difficult words. Let me explain you one by one. Logically, suppose first of all, I would like to tell you that सबसे पहले मैं आपको कहना चाहूँगा कि whatever you become in your life after studying, you have to give your service to this society. And in this society, only a few person have higher knowledge, higher degrees. Lots of people, most of the people in this society have knowledge of simple words. They have no knowledge of difficult words. If you will use difficult words in this society at the time of giving your service to the people here, then you will be proved a failure person. That's why, my dear friend, it is said by this rule that always use simple words Always use simple words which can be understood by the people in your society. Suppose you became MBBS doctor and you started your nursing home. You started a nursing home, and at the place, at your nursing home, if you will use difficult words with the common patients who are coming to your nursing home, then what would be the consequence? What would be the result? The consequence, the result would be that your patients will not understand you, and consequently they will leave your nursing home. They will not take service from your side because they are not understanding you. You are using difficult word with them. So that's why here you will have to shut your nursing home very soon. Here you faced loss of what? Of using difficult words. In the same way, if you become, suppose, IAS officer, and there happened a blockage somewhere, there happened a blockage somewhere, there happened a blockage somewhere. You went there and you started convincing the common people in very difficult words. Then what would be the consequence? The consequence, the result would be that the people, common people, will not understand you, and you cannot remove the blockade what the people have made there. Here is also a loss of using what? Of using difficult words. Suppose you become a teacher, and you went to some school to join. The principal told you that if you want to join my school, go to any class and give demo. If my students will be satisfied with your teaching, after I will hire you. You went to any class and you gave the class, you taught something there in very difficult words, and came out of the class. You went into the chamber of the principal. After the principal will go into the class and will inquire about your teaching. What would be the reply of the students? The students will reply that, sir, we could not understand. Here will be loss. You will not be hired at the institution, at the school. So my dear friends, there are only loss of using difficult words. That's why this rule says that while speaking of English, at the time of speaking of English, you must use simple words that you can convey your message to the next person. Otherwise, you will be a failure speaker. You will be a failure person. And next, it says that use short sentences. Never try to use long sentences. Never try to use sentences from beginning to full stop. Always try to use short sentences, short clauses. While speaking, at the time of speaking, you should keep this point in your mind that I have to clear sense. I have to clear sense. When sense is cleared, your spoken is finished. Your spoken is completed. So never be worried. Never be worried about grammar. Never try to use sentences according to the grammar. Otherwise, you will never be able to speak English. Speak English fluently. Keeping this point in your mind that I have to clear the sense. And gradually, by reading, you can develop your vocabularies, your grammar, and so on things. That doesn't matter. But always speak simple word and short sentences while speaking of English. This is the international rule what is followed across the world by the people who speak English. I think you must have understood this point, you must have understood this rule, and I hope you will implement this rule in your life at the time of speaking of English. If you are new on my channel, please subscribe this channel and press the bell button that you may get my such videos regularly. Thank you very much.